situation. A lawsuit is not a f***ing joke. She had invited him to come audition for that Vegas show. Now he's in Vegas. Well, I'm just not really trusting him at this point.
All I can say is that all those ladies better thank you, Drew, because you're carrying this season on your shoulder when they're giving us dust. They're boring as hell. That episode was boring. They didn't have much going on. I mean, they put an entire 10-minute suspense around Kenya falling. That's to show you how bad they are. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. So we're back with the ladies on having dinner, the back and forth between Sheree and Drew left crying.
Family and my kids. I've never been sued a day in my life. It's not funny to me. I am really...
The ladies follow her. Kandi did not, because it seems Kandi does not believe the tears. So they're asking her what's going on, but she still wants to make it look like she's crying about that $1,000 lawsuit that she's saying is really affecting her family. The ladies are not doing it at all. Kenya was hands-on when she said she believed the problem is with her husband, but they're still trying to play along with her, and Kenya was even willing to say...
Can I just say one thing? Mm-hmm. How many of us are on this trip right now? 8. What is $1,000 divided by 8?
And Drew is like, she's already paid that, but still the damage is done. And I'm like, Drew, girl, just move on from it. Like, I understand your tears. I do. Sheree is able to, make up with her, and that's when she opens up and basically explain that she's dealing with some leftover trauma from her husband's infidelities.
She was oiling him down for the bedroom scene, and she had invited him to come audition. So now he's in Vegas. Well, I'm just not really trusting him at this point.
But in a part of me understand Drew. When you've been cheated on, it's not easy. It is a trauma. Some people can recover easier than others. Making the decision to stay with the person that cheated on you is actually the hardest thing to do if you left. Because now you have to see the person, you have to be with the person, you share kids with the person, and you have to learn to trust them again. And they also have to want to give you that. There's also a lot of things that person has to do for you to feel comfortable. And I'm not sure if Ralph is giving me the vibe of a man that's willing to go above and beyond to make sure that Drew doesn't feel the way she feels about him cheating on her anymore, which might be the reason why she feels that the way she feels. Let me all know what you thought in the comment. On the other side, Kandi said sin because obviously she doesn't believe her. I'm surprised from Kandi because it's even if you don't believe the reason why she's crying, she's really crying. So there might be something else. And I feel like if Kenya knows that it might be with her husband, why wouldn't Kandi know since she's pretty close to Drew? I was surprised of Kandi, especially that Kandi is a crier. The lady leaves, and then the next day Sheree has a lot planned for the ladies, but the rain might put a stop to her plan. It's raining really bad, and apparently it was rainy season in Portugal, in Algarve, which is a beachy place. And I'm like, Sheree, what were you thinking? You couldn't take them to a place that's has more heat, like Greece or something? Girl. The ladies are all coming down and they're waiting on Kenya to come, but the production is creating a whole mood, whole suspense around Kenya fall. And I'm like, this does not deserve all this suspense. You really have nothing else. Because you have nothing else to give, no concrete storyline, no potent storyline. All you have is to create suspense around Kenya's fall. So yeah, the ladies are talking, they're calling Kenya. Kenya is not picking up. So they're going to the bus and they're waiting on her. But it's raining and the floor is really, sleepy. So of course, when Kenya actually makes it there, she falls. And that was a hard fall. So I understand, she looks good, but those bones might not be as young as they used to be, and that was a hard fall. So she's crying, she's in pain, and she wants to go to the hospital. I understand. I mean, she's on the job at the hotel. She suffered a fall. Let me go to the hospital. Somebody gonna pay for it anyway. Like, let me make sure that I am okay. So she wants Kandi to come with her. So the other ladies, they went back inside. And then Courtney is telling Drew that it was karma happening to Kenya because Kenya is a mean girl. And I'm like, girl, Courtney, you pushing it. Like, what is she doing that's that bad that deserve for her to, like, potentially break a bone? What the hell? Like, what if, like, it was really, really bad? Like, that fall can lead to other things. Like, what did she do to you? Because she didn't want you to touch her? That's why you feel like this is a karma? Nah. All I gotta say is that be ready during the reunion, because I know Kenya is going to go full throttle and show you how much of a mean girl she's capable of doing. She's gonna slaughter you. Be ready. So now the ladies are back, minus Kandi and Kenya, and they are at the market. Seeing the market like that reminded me of my childhood. In France, usually we go to this type of market to buy our fruits and vegetables, our meat and our fish. So seeing all those things really reminded me of how I grew up. The fish is usually very fresh. The food in general is fresh, and you know the person that actually, like, you know, the farmer that actually raised those fruits and vegetables. This is the best thing, what they want, and the chef is going to cook it. So they make it to the restaurant, and Marlo is telling them about Scott Lee, and the ladies are telling her that Kenya said a relationship was fake. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fake. Like, Marlo was more genuine when she was looking at, you know, the restaurant owner, the server, than whenever she's, like, looking at Scott Lee. So she's talking to Scott Lee, calling him baby and all that, but I don't believe her. But guess what? I don't mind. I like Scott Lee. I'm just saying, I like Scott Lee, but do I think it's real? No, I don't. Marlo show us a type. That's the server. Then we have Martha Oates calling Sheree, and I'm like, those two still got it going on? Okay, then he knows he's on speaker, he's on that scheduled call, and he's, you know, faking it, telling her to think about him, and she ain't gonna think about you. She don't care, okay? The lady tell Drew what Kandi said whenever she had a confrontation with Sheree, and that she didn't believe the cries and everything. Drew was not happy about that, and I understand. I wouldn't be happy about that if somebody that I call my friend is not believing that my cries are genuine, and it really was. It's just that I was lying about what it was for. Hey, I feel like those ladies are really trying to get Drew to fight with Kandi and Kenya, and eventually even a fight between Kenya and Kandi, because it seems that Kandi is the target of all of those ladies. Even Sanya called, like, Kandi Teflon Don, and I'm like, what did she do to you? Nothing. I'm just saying. Then the ladies are going to their next activity, and things are doing pretty good. And they're mentioning that because Kandi and Kenya are not there, things are really nice. And I'm going to be honest, things are different because they're not there for you to attack them. I don't feel like Kenya and Kandi are looking to fight y'all. Without Kenya, this franchise had nobody. I would not be watching y'all if Kandi and Kenya were not part of the franchise at the moment. Y'all are still bored as a group, but it would be 100% worse if Kandi and Kenya were not there. Marlo, you obviously cannot carry the season on your own shoulder. You're not as fun or interesting as I thought you could be, but that's because you're faking, right? But your real story seems more interesting, I'm just saying. I do see that Moneta does act differently when Kenya and Kandi are not there. It's a fact. She's less open with the other ladies when they're there. Period. Y'all can take it as you want. I see it clearly. When Kandi and Kenya are there, Moneta is not as open as going back and forth with the ladies. But when they're not there, she's more amenable. Let me all know what you think. We have Kandi and Kenya coming back to the hotel. Kenya is feeling better. They gave her some pain pills. She doesn't have any broken bones. That's a great news. I'm glad she went to the doctor because, you know, we will never know in life. So yeah, it was a hard day for Kandi, but Kandi was being a good and supportive friend. Next, Sheree is inviting the ladies to a room. When they all get there, Drew tells Kandi
I had like an emotional moment, and who was telling me that when I got up, you were basically saying like,
I said, and scene.
But and scene to me sounds like you thought you were acting.
it was a real moment.
And Kandi explained to her why she felt that way.
Wasn't even having that serious of an argument. So that's why I was like, my first instinct was to make the joke.
And I mean, I understand Kandi, but at the end of the day, those tears were genuine. Drew is not that good of an actress. So I don't know if she apologized, but that was the end. After that, camera's done rolling, but somebody decided to record it on camera.
Well, Drew made out with Latoya.
She was like, no.
I would deny too if I was Drew. She's a married woman and she might be battling with her sexuality. She might, you know, be discovering herself to, like, you know, the P a little bit more. And, you know, she's going through things. She has the trauma with her husband. You know, she's going through a lot. I would deny it too. The hell? That's when you see that those people are not really friends, right? Because in real life, this is some serious stuff, right? Like, if she really was doing something with Latoya and she's a married woman, that's infidelity and all that. And Kandi's like, I'm not lying. And I'm like, what does you not lying does for you in that situation? What about you just shut up? That's why those people are not friends. But hey, this is the show. They all signed up for it and they are doing it for the show. So yeah. What do I think that Drew did something with Latoya? Yeah, I think so. I think that Drew might, you know, like to dip in a pea sometime. She may like to eat a little bit of that. But I also do believe that she loves her husband and she's going through some hard times. So yeah, all I can say is that all those ladies better thank you, Drew, because you're carrying this season on your shoulder when they're giving us dust. They're boring as hell. That episode was boring. They didn't have much going on. I mean, they put an entire 10-minute suspense around Kenya falling. That's to show you how bad they are. Would I be okay for them to do a reboot like in Real Housewives of New York? Yeah, if it's gonna be better, yeah, because this is not giving at all and a change needs to be happening. Let me all know what you thought about this episode. On this note, if you're new here, hey, welcome, and I invite you to, you know, and for those of you that have been here with me, supporting me, thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.